Alright, what is going on everyone, and welcome to episode 12 of my beginner's guide to success in ESO. And in this episode we're going to be going over all the different armors, and we're currently on the PTS server, or PTS, and the S stands for server. But anyway, so everything is going to be updated for the Imperial City, so all the information I give you here will be rolling out through the next patch. So hopefully the information is pretty accurate compared to what the live servers have right now. Though I don't think anything actually changed. But yeah, so let's go over all the armors. I'll explain what I think each class should use and what you should use. So let's start off with light armor. Light armor is pretty much for magic based users and people who want to do a lot of DPS with magic. So what do all the passives do? Let's start with the passives and then we'll go to the active or the ultimate. So the first one for the passive is evocation. With one or more pieces of light armor, you reduce the magic cost of spells by 3%. This is while its max is like 1% per level. So there's 3 levels in total. So it's a total of 9%. And then recovery is magicka recovery. Spell warding is increase your spell resistance, and this one is important because the prodigy one is when you have 5 or more light pieces, you get a spell critical rating, which increases your damage. So with 5 or more pieces, that's generally a good thing. And yeah, so with concentration, our last one increases your spell penetration, which does more damage against people who have spell armor, and that's generally a good thing. So yeah, let's say, for the most part, I would say magic Dragonites would be using this, sorcerers, and occasionally Templars, but there's a lot of, for Templars, you can build it anyway. But sorcerers primarily use this. Nightblades might be using light or medium, and everything else is just like medium or something. So for the most part, sorcerers and magic-based users. Alright, let's go to medium armor. Wait, hold on. We missed the ultimate. The annulment, no one actually ever uses it. Surround yourself with a net of magic, negate, and absorb spell damage for 20 seconds. So, it's interesting, but no one uses it. Medium armor. Medium is for people who like doing DPS and are up close. So, like melee builds, like Stamina, Templars. Dragonites are very good for this. Well, Dragonites can either use medium or light, but if you're stamina based, primarily you're going to be using medium armor for DPS. So let's go over everything. We'll just go down the list this time. Elude is when you increase your evasion by 20% for 23 seconds, and for more armor pieces you have equipped, you're going to want to, or the duration is going to be increased. So dexterity is your critical strike or rating, which is damage, is increased for more pieces of armor you have. Windwalker increases stamina recovery by 4% per piece of armor, and also reduces the stamina cost of abilities by 3%. Improved sneak is like when you're sneaking and you're hidden, it reduces the cost of it by 7% per piece. It's pretty helpful. It also goes with the ledger domain, and you could pretty much sneak for a very low cost and for a very long time. And the most important passive for medium builds are the agility one. It increases your weapon damage by 6% per level, so when it's maxed out is 12%. And 12% weapon damage is really good. This is something you really want to have, and it's very important. So 12% actually boosts a lot, plus your rating. You could be doing a lot of DPS, and it's definitely something to consider. And athletics is movement speed while sprinting. There's not really much to say about that. Just for the most part, you move faster and do more damage with medium. And yeah, let's go into our final one, heavy. Immovable, not many people use it. It just increases your resistances for 13 seconds. Resolve increases your armor by about 2,500. This would be what it is when it's maxed out. Constitution increases health recovery, so when it's at maxed out with all 7 pieces you have 28%, and you get extra magicka and stamina restored when you're hit. So that's like pretty much perfect for a tank. You get a lot of health recovery and extra magic and stamina every time you're hit. And then the Juggernaut, so heavy armor is pretty much for tank users and people who just don't like dying. So Juggernaut increases your max health by 1% per piece, so the maximum would be 7% with the full set of gear. That's pretty good. It's one of the more important ones. And the big part of the heavy set is when you have 5 or more pieces, you decrease the stamina cost of blocking, so it's very important for tanks to have this. And pretty much everyone with a one-hander and shield, you should consider this one. And finally, our rapid mending is healing received is increased by 1% per piece of armor, so a total of 7%. And yeah, so pretty much let's go over a recap, starting with heavy armor. Dragon Knights would use heavy armor primarily if you were a tank user and or just questing. Medium armor is for melee builds who like DPS and are more like experienced and know how to dodge roll and all that stuff. So medium armor is for stamina based builds. Heavy armor is for people who use health or health as their main attribute. And light armor is for sorcerers and magic users. So all of those are very important. It depends on what class you play. So let's just do a quick rundown. I would say Nightblades primarily use light or medium armor. Dragon Knights can use all three depending on how you play it. Templars either use light or medium armor because they're stamina or magic. And what was the last class? I chose Nightblade, Sorcerer, Templars, and Dragon Knights. Yeah, I think I got all of them. Dragon Knights use all of them. Templars use light or medium. Nightblades use light or medium as well. Not many classes actually use heavy armor unless you're a tank. But if you want to try making your own build with that, that's perfectly fine. But for the most part, light and medium is the way to go for 90% of the classes. And I hope you learned something with this video. If you did, feel free to subscribe, and would like to see more ESO guides, feel free to click the annotation at the bottom left. It will lead you to my playlist for everything. Or if you are watching this on mobile and can't click the annotation, feel free to check the link in the description. It will lead you to the same spot as well. So with that said, thank you guys for watching. Hope you have a fantastic day and learn something in ESO.